Welcome to the CareClinic Pod. I'm Emma, and this is Jones.
Welcome back to the CareClinic Podcast. Today, let's talk brain fog.
Yeah.
You know that feeling
Uh,
like your brain is just stuck in the red?
Yeah.
It can happen to anyone.
Totally.
But for people with ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
it can be like a constant struggle.
Yeah.
And it could even be
It can be.
a red flag for ADHD.
That's right.
So we're going to unpack all of that today.
Exactly.
We're going to look at what brain fog actually is,
Yeah.
what causes it,
Mhm.
and most importantly,
Right.
what you can do about it.
Exactly.
So if you're ready to clear the mental fog
Uh-huh.
and sharpen your focus,
Mm-hmm.
stick around. We've got some
A good one.
great information coming your way.
Yeah.
Now, let's start by defining what we're talking about here.
Okay.
What exactly is brain fog?
Right.
It's not like a medical diagnosis.
No, it's not like you go to the doctor and they say
you got brain fog,
you have brain fog.
Right.
It's a collection of symptoms.
Yeah.
It's a feeling.
a feeling. So describe that feeling.
It's that mental fatigue,
Yeah.
that cloudiness, like
Yeah.
you're wading through molasses just to think straight.
It's so frustrating
It is.
when you're trying to
when you're trying to focus.
focus
Yeah.
and your brain just feels
It's just offline.
offline. It's
Yeah.
like, ugh.
And this can be,
And this can be especially tough
yes,
for people
dealing with ADHD.
ADHD.
Yeah, because
Because brain fog can be a
a frequent
Right.
and unwelcome visitor.
very unwelcome.
Yes.
Right.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not just a feeling.
Mhm.
There's actually
There's a neurological.
a neurological
This is tough.
ACEs
Yeah.
research shows
Yeah.
that brain fog is
Brain fog is a
Oh.
real cluster
cluster of symptoms.
of symptoms, and it can be
And research shows it can be
directly linked
directly linked
to how
to
ADHD
how ADHD affects the brain.
affects the brain.
Yeah,
So there's a connection there
absolutely.
between ADHD and brain fog.
There is.
Okay. So tell me more about that.
Well,
How does that work?
Studies have shown
Yeah.
that ADHD
Mhm.
can actually impair the frontal lobe.
The frontal lobe.
Mhm.
Now remind me.
Yeah.
What does the frontal lobe do?
The frontal lobe is like the control center of your brain.
Okay.
It's responsible for
Oh.
all those higher level functions.
Executive function.
Executive functions
Yeah.
like decision making,
Mhm.
focus,
Focus control.
impulse control,
Planning.
organization,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like having ADHD
It's like
already makes your brain work differently.
exactly.
That way.
And then brain fog comes along
Brain fog piles on top of that.
and just
That makes
whoa.
everything worse.
No wonder it feels so overwhelming.
It's a double whammy.
It is, for sure.
Okay. So
There-
ADHD is one culprit.
Here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
ADHD is not the only culprit
Fog.
behind brain fog.
Okay.
There are other
Surprising
factors
What else?
that can contribute to that foggy feeling.
Yeah.
Things you might not even realize are
Okay.
connected.
I'm intrigued.
So let's start with something
Yep.
we all know
Okay.
is crucial. Sleep.
Oh, sleep.
Sleep,
Yeah.
lack of sleep doesn't just make you tired.
Right.
It can actually mimic ADHD symptoms in the brain
Wow.
and make brain fog way worse.
Okay. So it can
It can
mimic ADHD
mimic
and worsen
and exacerbate
worsen
brain fog.
the brain fog.
Yeah.
So it's like a double whammy.
It's a double whammy.
Okay.
Okay.
I've definitely been there.
Oh, yeah.
A few nights of bad sleep,
Yeah.
and I feel like
You feel like
I can barely string a sentence together.
it can barely function.
I know, it's
Right.
terrible.
Yeah.
And it makes everything worse.
And the problem is
Yeah.
up to 80%
Yeah.
of adults with ADHD
Wow.
struggle with insomnia.
So they're not
So it creates this
sleeping well.
vicious cycle
Oh, gosh.
where ADHD disrupts sleep,
Right.
which then worsens the brain fog,
Mm.
which makes managing ADHD even harder. It's a
Indeed.
real battle.
Exhausting.
It is.
Yeah. So lack of sleep is
Lack of sleep is a big one.
a big one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
what about
let's talk about medication.
And that
Can that play a role
play a role
in brain fog?
in brain fog?
It absolutely can.
Oh, okay.
Any changes to your ADHD medication,
Okay.
whether you're starting a new one,
Mhm.
stopping,
Yeah.
or adjusting the dosage of something like Ritalin
Yeah.
or Adderall,
Right.
can sometimes lead to brain fog
Oh, wow.
as a side effect.
So it can be a side effect
That can be a side effect
of the medication
of
itself.
the medication.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good reminder for anyone listening.
Yeah.
If you're noticing
You're noticing changes
in your
in your brain
fog.
Brain fog.
Yeah.
Especially
Especially if it coincides with
if it's related to
medication adjustments.
medication adjustment.
Talk to your doctor.
Talk to your doctor.
It might be a simple tweak to the dosage.
Right.
Or you might need to explore other options.
Yeah. It's all about
Communication is key
communication
with your doctor.
with your doctor.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now,
So we've got,
let's get into some brain chemistry
okay,
for a moment
I like where this is going.
and talk about dopamine.
Right.
This neurotransmitter
Yeah.
is all about motivation
Uh-huh.
and reward. And guess what?
What?
People with ADHD
Yeah.
often have lower dopamine activity,
Dopamine activity.
which can make it super hard
To stay
motivated
Yeah.
and on task.
So the brain is not getting
It's like their brain's reward system
the same rewards.
but on low power, making
Oh.
it harder to find the drive
Yeah.
to get things done.
And could that lack of motivation
It's definitely
contribute to
a possibility.
the brain fog?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, another factor we need to consider
Medication,
is brain inflammation.
dopamine,
I know it sounds strange.
and brain inflammation. Brain inflammation
Actually, where does that even...
has its own immune system.
Really?
And when it gets overactive,
So our brains
it can lead to chronic inflammation.
have immune systems.
Right.
Right.
That inflammation can slow down thinking,
Okay.
affect memory,
So the
and
inflammation,
cause fatigue.
all classic brain fog symptoms,
Mm.
can actually cause
Yeah.
brain fog.
It's all connected.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
So our own immune system,
It's
it can actually
tripping.
be working against us
Your body's working against you.
when it comes to brain fog.
Sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
And here's the kicker. So there's research suggesting a link
We've got sleep.
between ADHD
Get back to you.
and an overactive immune system.
Dopamine,
So inflammation could be playing a role
brain inflammation.
in both conditions.
Is there anything else
Mhm.
we should be aware of
Yeah.
that can cause this?
Don't forget about the impact
Okay.
of the environment.
The environment.
Yeah.
How does that
You might be surprised to learn
play a role?
that air pollution
Yeah.
can actually have a direct impact
Ah,
on mental performance
seriously.
and even increase the risk
Have a valve
of-
go.
developing ADHD.
Can affect our brains.
Yeah, it can.
I mean, we think about it
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
affecting our lungs,
Yeah.
you know,
They think about
respiratory system,
Yeah.
our brains.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's true.
That's scary.
And it's pretty alarming
Yeah.
when you look at the research.
So tell me about the research.
One study
Yeah.
showed that consistent exposure to air pollution
Okay.
during childhood
Mm-hmm.
can increase the chance of developing ADHD
Wow.
by a whopping 40%.
40%.
Yeah. That's huge.
That's a huge number.
That is huge.
Really makes you think about
Wow.
the impact our surroundings can
Mhm.
have on our brains.
Especially for kids.
For kids who are still developing.
whose brains are still developing.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, now
So we've got
let's shift gears for a moment
so like,
and talk about something, that's really
something you have more control over.
brain inflammation. Your
Try it.
air pollution
Did you know that iron deficiency,
and diet.
which is pretty common,
Yeah.
is a major culprit
I really
behind brain fog
is important for
and fatigue?
our bodies,
Yeah.
but how does that tie into
It plays a crucial role
brain fog?
in transporting oxygen throughout the body,
Okay,
including to the brain.
so our brains need
When your brain isn't getting enough oxygen,
iron to
it can lead to those feelings of
function properly.
mental sluggishness
Got it.
and fatigue.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this is especially important for women
And this is especially important for women who are menstruating
because they lose iron.
or pregnant,
Right.
as they're more prone to iron deficiency.
Due to menstruation
Mhm.
and pregnancy.
Yeah.
So if you are
So if you're feeling that brain fog,
experiencing brain fog,
it's definitely worth
it might be a good idea to
checking your iron levels
check your iron levels
with your doctor.
with your doctor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And speaking of getting things checked out
Oh,
by a doctor,
we've got
brain fog
a lot of different potential
can also be linked
causes of brain fog.
to other conditions like
Yep.
lupus,
Right.
hypothyroidism,
Yeah.
and chronic fatigue syndrome.
Chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yeah. So it's important to rule these out
We can't forget
when
about
you're experiencing
on COVID.
persistent brain fog.
Right. Brain fog is a
And let's not forget
Symptom of long COVID.
Long COVID syndrome.
Yeah.
Brain fog is a documented symptom
Linger for a really long time.
that can persist for weeks,
Yeah.
months,
Months.
or even years after a COVID-19 infection.
After a COVID infection.
So-
So if you've had COVID
So it's important to talk to your doctor.
and are experiencing brain fog,
If you are
it's definitely worth
experiencing brain fog,
talking to your doctor about.
to rule out these other things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with all these potential causes, it can be really hard, it sounds like, to pinpoint
Exactly. Hard to
what's causing brain fog in any given individual.
Yeah, it's causing it.
Right.
Right.
That's why it's so important
It's important to talk to your doctor.
to talk to your doctor.
If you're experiencing persistent brain fog,
If you're experiencing brain fog,
they can help you rule out any underlying medical conditions and develop a personalized plan
right,
to manage your symptoms.
to help you manage your symptoms.
But you don't suffer in silence.
And remember,
If you're looking for
get the help you need.
more resources,
And speaking of resources,
Yeah.
the CareClinic app
the PureClinic app
can be a fantastic resource
is a great resource.
for staying on top of your health.
Yes,
It can help you track your symptoms,
it can help you
manage your medications,
track symptoms,
stay connected
manage medications,
with your healthcare team.
and stay connected with your healthcare team.
It's a great tool to have
Yes,
in your arsenal.
a great tool to help you manage your
Even though brain fog can be super frustrating,
Yeah,
the good news is
Yeah.
that we're not powerless against it.
there is hope.
There are definitely ways to
That
manage
you even prevent.
and prevent it. So
Tell me more.
we're going to dive into that next.
Okay.
We're going to talk about all the things
Well, I'm excited
you can do to combat brain fog
to get rid of this.
and start feeling
Wait.
brain fog.
Sharper,
Yes.
more focused,
Give me those winning strategies.
more energized.
I'm ready.
So stay tuned. So first and foremost, addressing any underlying medical conditions is crucial.
Right.
If you have ADHD, getting appropriate treatment
Yeah.
can make a world of difference.
All right.
The same goes for
Yeah.
any other health issues that might be contributing to brain fog.
Okay.
So
So talk to your doctor.
that means talk to your doctor,
Get a diagnosis if you need to.
right?
Get the right treatment,
Get the treatment.
whether it's medication, therapy,
Yeah.
lifestyle changes,
Lifestyle changes.
whatever it takes.
Okay.
But there are also lifestyle changes you can make
Okay.
that can have a real impact.
Tell me about those.
One of the sources talked about cognitive behavioral therapy
Okay.
or CBT.
CBT. How can that help with
It's not just about
something like brain fog?
managing anxiety or depression.
Right.
CBT can be incredibly effective
Okay.
for folks with ADHD because it teaches you strategies
Okay.
to improve focus.
It's like
Cognitive
concentration
training your brain.
and even emotional regulation,
Wow.
all of which
To think and respond differently
can be majorly impacted.
to those
Some-
ADHD challenges.
Mhm.
Okay, so it can help with the brain fog.
Like you're
Yeah.
rewiring your brain
That's fascinating.
to work better.
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't underestimate the power of
Adults.
connecting with others.
Oh, yeah.
Support groups,
Support groups.
whether online or in person, can connect you
So you can connect with people
who truly understand the struggle.
who understand what you're going through.
Right.
Yeah, that's so important.
Sometimes just knowing
It can
you're not
reduce
alone in
stress.
this
It's very isolating.
can make a huge difference. Plus,
We feel like
you can swap tips and strategies
nobody understands.
and even find local professionals
if you're going through.
who can help.
Yeah.
So
And you can learn from each other.
support is key.
Support is key.
Right.
Okay.
And of course,
So we got CBT,
I can't forget about the basics.
support groups, and
Exercise,
hydration,
hydration, and nutrition.
exercise. They might seem simple.
Hydration, nutrition.
They can make a world of difference.
Yep.
Those are all good for overall health.
For brain fog.
But
Mhm.
how do they specifically
Studies have shown
target brain fog?
that exercise,
Yeah.
especially cardio,
Okay.
can actually improve attention,
Mhm.
memory,
Okay.
and self-control
Self-control.
in people with ADHD.
You people with ADHD.
So getting your heart pumping
So that runner's high.
can help counteract
This is just a myth.
those foggy feelings.
It's actually helping clear the mental cobwebs too.
It's like a brain boost,
I like it.
right?
Okay. And
Just staying hydrated.
is just as crucial.
Okay.
Dehydration
Hydration.
can make brain fog
Yeah.
so much worse.
I never would have guessed that.
Really?
What's the connection between
Well, think about it.
our
Dehydration
brains
and brain fog.
are mostly water.
Okay.
Even mild dehydration
Our brains are mostly water.
can negatively impact memory,
So we need.
mood, keep them hydrated, attention, and alertness.
So basically, dehydration
brain
equals brain drain.
is drying up.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to fill up my water bottle
Excellent.
right now.
Okay. Now, let's talk about food.
Food.
One of the articles
Yes.
really emphasized the importance of a healthy diet,
Okay.
especially for people with ADHD who might tend to have less than ideal eating habits.
I'm guilty of that.
Right.
Okay. So give you the brain boosting diet.
What does a brain boosting diet actually look like?
What should I be eating?
It's all about fresh fruits and vegetables,
Okay.
lean protein,
Okay.
and healthy fats.
So the good stuff.
Try to limit processed foods,
Right.
sugary drinks,
Yeah.
and unhealthy fats
The stuff we should be
as much as possible.
limiting. Anyway,
So basically, the stuff we already know is good for us
Right.
is also
it's good for our brain
what our brains crave.
and our bodies.
Exactly.
Okay. And
Don't underestimate the impact.
hydration
Nutrition
can be a major trigger.
and stress management.
For brain fog,
Stress.
it throws everything
Tell me about it.
off balance.
When I'm stressed,
yeah.
it's like
You're stressed.
my brain is on overdrive.
Your body goes into
That way.
fight or flight mode,
Yeah.
and your brain
And it's like, I can't think straight
can't function properly.
at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So finding healthy ways to manage stress,
So stress management is key.
like meditation,
Okay.
deep breathing exercises,
Mhm.
or spending time in nature,
Those are all good.
can really help.
I like those.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked earlier about how
We've talked about
lack of sleep
a lot of different things
can make brain fog worse.
that can contribute to brain fog.
But are there any
Okay.
specific tips for
There are definitely things you can do
actually improving sleep quality?
to improve your sleep.
I feel like that's something
There are another
a
article.
lot of people struggle with.
That's some great tips
Yeah.
for improving sleep.
Okay, give me those tips.
It emphasized
I need them.
establishing a regular sleep routine,
Okay.
creating a relaxing bedtime ritual,
Sure.
and making sure your bedroom is
Yeah.
conducive to sleep.
A routine is helpful for everything.
So it's
Yeah.
about creating a sleep sanctuary,
I like that.
a place where your brain knows
Creating a space
it's time
where your brain knows
to wind down
it's time to sleep.
and rest. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Make sure your bedroom is dark.
Dark, quiet, cool.
Cool.
And I've got-
Avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed.
Yes.
During
Those
especially.
can really mess with your sleep cycles.
Yeah.
So those are just a few tips.
So we can combat brain fog by
For improving your sleep, addressing underlying medical conditions, trying CBT,
there's a lot more we can talk about
finding support,
when it comes to exercising.
staying hydrated,
Jared,
eating a healthy diet,
stay tuned.
managing stress,
We'll be right back
and improving our sleep.
after the break
That's a lot
with more tips and strategies
to take in,
to help you.
but it feels
Empowering,
good.
like we have
Yes.
some control
You got this.
over this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And remember,
I like that feeling.
the CareClinic app
The CareClinic app
can be a great resource
can help us
for staying on track
stay on track
with all
these healthy habits.
healthy habits.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like having a
personal health assistant
personal health assistant
right in your pocket.
right in my pocket.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
let's move on
We've got the basics down.
to some other interesting insights.
Yes, from the sources.
Give me those insights.
One article mentioned the use of air purifiers
Air purifiers
to combat brain fog.
to combat brain fog.
That's a great point.
Absolutely.
We talked earlier
How do those work?
about the negative impact
They
of air
impact-
pollution
We think about air purifiers
on the brain.
helping with allergies,
You know, an
So-
air purifier
things like that.
can be a good investment.
But for brain fog,
Especially
if you live in an area
What's that?
with poor air quality,
So it's about
called
filtering out those
awful pollutants,
harmful pollutions
yeah,
that can literally
that can mess with our brains.
that's what our brain.
Literally.
Yeah.
So
Like-
if you're concerned about air pollution,
So air purifier,
an air purifier
right, B?
might be a good idea.
Good idea.
And along those lines,
What else?
spending time outdoors
Outdoors
in fresh air
can also be beneficial.
like that.
One of the articles
Yeah.
recommended.
And fresh air is good for you.
At least half an hour each day.
Yeah.
So
Like giving your brain
go outside
a breath of fresh air too.
and breathe in
I like that.
fresh air.
Yeah.
It's like giving your brain a breath of fresh air too.
So air purifiers, when you're inside, and fresh air.
It's not forgettable.
When you're outside,
supplements
okay, have shown real promise
I'm intrigued.
in research for improving brain function.
Okay. And reducing brain fog.
Help with brain fog.
Yeah.
Okay, which ones
There are a few
are we talking about?
that have been studied.
Give me the good stuff.
One
Okay.
that was mentioned is luteolin,
Luteolin.
a plant compound
Okay.
that's been found
A plant compound.
to reduce brain inflammation
Okay.
and improve attention and memory.
So it can help with
There's also
the brain fog.
phosphatidylserine,
Okay.
which has been studied
Phosphatidylserine.
for its potential benefits
Right.
in improving attention and memory.
And of course,
So if you're
those are just a couple of examples.
iron deficient iron supplements,
There are others out there.
can be helpful.
And it's always a good idea
Yeah.
to talk to your doctor
Talk to your doctor.
before starting any new
By
supplement.
starting any supplements, they're right for you.
Okay. And that they won't interact
Good advice.
with any medications you're taking.
Yeah.
So
many things to consider.
it's a lot to take in.
It is like a whole toolbox
The key is
of strategies to try.
what works best
Right.
for you.
What works for me
What might work wonders for one person
might not work for
it
you.
might not have the same effect on another.
Yeah.
So
Everybody's different.
it's all about experimenting
Yeah.
and finding what works for you.
Your own personal brain boosting formula
Okay.
So I
like
learned-
that. Don't be afraid. It's about finding your own
to try different things
brain boosting formula.
until you find what works for you.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why it's so important.
So that's why it's so important
Have that open dialogue.
to have that open dialogue
with your doctor.
with your doctor
And to keep track of what's helping
to keep track of what's helping
and what's not.
and what's not.
The CareClinic app
Exactly.
can be really helpful for that.
The Purifiers app
Keeping all that information
can be really helpful for that.
organized.
Keeping all that information organized.
Yeah,
It's a great tool
it is.
for tracking your progress
A great tool.
and seeing what's working.
Okay.
Mm.
So
One last
we've got the CareClinic app.
nugget of wisdom
We've got our toolbox
from the sources.
of strategies.
Before we move on,
Give me that nugget.
one article talked about the importance
Okay.
of tweaking those everyday habits
Everyday habits.
to fight brain fog.
Okay.
It's about being mindful
Like what?
of how we're spending our time and energy.
Yeah.
So
I'm all about optimizing.
think about things like
Eye gay.
limiting distractions,
Okay.
taking regular breaks,
Limiting distractions.
minimizing screen time,
Taking breaks.
minimizing screen,
Easier said than done.
being mindful of
Our
how
brains need downtime.
not downtime.
We're spending our
I
time
know.
and energy.
I'm willing to try.
Right.
I'm gonna-
Our brains need downtime.
Our brain,
Need downtime,
just like our bodies do.
just like our bodies.
Exactly.
Okay. So
Exactly.
give your brain a break.
Give your brain a break.
There-
And
go on.
remember,
hydration is key.
from things
Aim for
to let our brains
at least 100 ounces of water.
purge 100 ounces of water a day.
Also,
Go for short walks
sure,
throughout the day,
Mhm.
even just a few minutes, here and there.
Get those steps in.
Get those steps in,
Yeah.
and get that blood flowing
And get that blood flowing to the brain.
to the brain.
Right. Okay. And
Don't underestimate the power.
these are good.
Meditation,
Practical tips.
even a few minutes
okay.
of mindful breathing,
Meditation.
then you will do wonders.
Even a few minutes.
Can help.
And stress reduction.
Yeah.
So lots of little things.
So many
gonna
great
keep some-
ideas
Go.
throughout the day.
It's all about incorporating
You help
these small but impactful changes
keep your brain sharp
into our daily lives.
and focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
Right.
Small changes
Small changes.
done consistently
They're done consistently.
really lead to big results.
For the big results.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Okay.
We've explored, so we've talked about
The connection
the connection between ADHD
between ADHD
and brain fog.
and brain fog.
We've talked about
All the potential causes
all those other,
of brain fog.
and we've given a whole bunch of strategies
We're giving you a whole bunch
to manage it
of strategies
and even prevent it.
to manage
We've given a lot of information
and even prevent it.
today that hopefully our
Our
listeners are feeling
listeners now
empowered.
feel more empowered
Yeah.
to take control
To take control of their brain health.
of their brain health.
And to tackle
That's all brain fog.
this brain fog head on.
Head on. You got this. Yeah.
And if you're looking for
don't let brain fog
more resources,
control your life,
and ways to stay on top,
you have the power
to overcome it.
The CareClinic app is a great resource.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic Speaking of resources,
that can help you.
The CareClinic app
stay on track.
Is a fantastic resource.
With your health journey.
It can help you track your symptoms.
So we've got the CareClinic app.
Manage your medications.
We got.
And stay connected with your healthcare team.
Our toolbox of strategies.
It's a great tool to have in your arsenal.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners.
Before we wrap up.
With one final thought.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Give me that thought.
We focus a lot on the negative impacts of brain fog.
We have.
But let's shift gears.
Okay.
And talk about.
I like where this is going.
The amazing benefits.
Yeah.
Of cognitive clarity.
Cognitive clarity. Think about how much more productive.
Yeah.
Creative.
Yeah.
And joyful.
Joyful.
You could be if you weren't.
So you're saying that
constantly battle if we get rid of the brain fog.
That mental fog.
Yeah.
It's not just about eliminating the negative.
All this potential.
Unlocking all that positive potential.
It's not just about getting rid of the bad stuff.
It's about, I challenge our listeners.
Feeling good.
Imagine a day.
Yes.
A week.
Okay. I'm imagining.
A month.
I'm imagining.
A year.
Yeah.
Without brain fog.
No brain fog.
What would you accomplish?
What would I accomplish?
What would you experience?
What would I experience?
How would you feel?
How would I feel?
It's a good question.
That's a really...
It really makes you...
thought-provoking.
Think about how much brain fog might be...
Makes you realize...
pulling us back.
How much brain fog might be holding you back.
So that's what you want listeners to take away from this episode.
That's what I hope everyone
takes
away from this episode.
A sense of hope.
Hope.
A sense of possibility.
Possibility.
And a sense of empowerment.
You have the power.
I like that.
To take control.
It's a takeaway message.
Of your brain health.
Okay.
And live.
A brighter.
More fulfilling life.
You got this.
You do.
We got this.
I got this.
Okay.
So we've got the big...
Get carried away.
Now let's talk about...
the big picture.
Some practical tips.
Let's circle back.
Yeah.
Give me the tips.
Some practical tips.
Okay.
From the sources.
Yeah.
One article mentioned something called...
What is it?
The Pomodoro Technique.
The Pomodoro Technique?
The Pomodoro Technique.
I've never heard of that.
Is a time management method.
Okay.
That can be really helpful.
Tell me more.
For people with ADHD who struggle.
Time management is not my strong suit.
And attention. Okay, so how does this...
Actually, pretty simple.
Technique work?
Break it down for me.
Set a timer.
Okay.
For 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
And work on a single task.
Okay.
Without any distractions. When the timer goes off, you take a short break.
A break. A 5. A 10 minutes. Repeat this cycle.
Okay.
4 times.
4 times.
And then take a longer break.
A longer break.
20 to 30 minutes.
30 minutes. So you're working in...
It's like built-in breaks.
Yeah.
To help you stay on track.
So it was like...
And avoid burnout.
Built-in breaks to help you.
Okay.
Stay on track and avoid burnout.
Built-in breaks to help you.
I can see how that would be.
Stay on track and avoid burnout.
Especially helpful.
I can see how that would be.
For people with ADHD.
Helpful.
For people with ADHD.
Staying focused.
Who have trouble focusing.
For long periods.
Long periods.
Right.
Right. And those breaks.
Those breaks are crucial.
Are important.
For letting your brain rest and recharge.
To let your brain rest and recharge.
Which can actually boost your productivity.
And that can actually.
In the long run.
Boost productivity. It's counterintuitive.
It seems counterintuitive.
But it makes sense.
But it actually works.
Stepping away.
Can task.
For a bit.
From something.
Can help you come back to it.
Can help you.
With fresh eyes.
Back.
And renewed focus.
With fresh eyes.
I like that.
And renewed focus.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Okay.
Another tip.
So we've got...
From the sources.
The Pomodoro Technique.
That I found really helpful.
And what else?
Is the idea of establishing routines.
Routines?
Routine.
No can.
Reduce.
The mental load.
Okay.
Of having to make decisions.
Throughout the day.
Help reduce.
When you have...
The mental load.
A set routine.
Of making decisions.
You don't have to waste energy.
When you have a routine.
Figuring out.
You don't have to think about
what to do next.
What could do next?
This can be a game changer for people with ADHD.
Do it.
Who often struggle with executive function skills.
Like planning.
And organization. Okay.
So routines can help.
Creating structure.
People with ADHD.
Predictability.
With ADHD.
Right. It's like
so routine
creating structure and predictability
can help create,
which can free up so much mental space.
Structure and predictability.
And more things.
Which can free up
mental space.
You're decluttering your mind.
Yeah.
And creating more room.
I know for me.
For focus and productivity.
When my day feels chaotic.
I know.
My brain fog.
When things are chaotic.
Is definitely worse.
It's harder to think clearly.
It's harder to focus.
Okay.
It's harder to get things done.
So routines can help.
So routines can be a real lifesaver.
With that.
For people with ADHD.
Okay.
And
for those of us.
Doesn't have to be complicated. Consistent morning routine.
Visually oriented.
An after-school routine for the kids. A bedtime routine.
Writing it down.
Anything that adds structure and predictability to your day.
Or using visual cues.
For those of us who are visually oriented, writing it down.
Like a planner or
using visual cues.
Something like that.
Can be really helpful.
Yeah.
Find what works best for you.
Okay.
And make it a habit.
To find what works for you. Make it a habit.
This next one is really cool.
What is it?
One of the sources mentioned
a
tool called Forebrain.
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 I've never heard of that.
It's an auditory stimulation headset.
What is that?
Designed to improve attention, concentration, and memory.
To improve attention.
Yeah.
Concentration and memory.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, tell me more.
It uses bone conduction technology to transmit your voice back to you in real time.
So it's
with a slight delay.
I'm talking.
And a dynamic filter.
And I can hear myself.
This helps you focus on the sounds of your own voice.
Oh, the headset.
Which can improve
Interesting.
Auditory processing and attention.
So it helps you focus.
It's like a workout.
On the sounds.
Your ears and your brain.
That you're making.
And some studies have shown
so it's like
can be.
Training your brain.
Especially helpful.
To pay attention for people with ADHD.
To the sounds.
Particularly in reducing impulsivity.
That you're making.
And improving working memory.
Wow, that's fascinating.
So if you're looking for a new tool.
It's amazing how technology can be used.
Brain fog
to support
Forebrain might be worth checking out.
Brain health these days.
It's amazing what they're coming up with.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's a good reminder.
It's a good reminder.
So there are always new and innovative solutions.
New and innovative solutions.
Emerging. It's worth staying curious.
Staying curious.
And exploring different options.
To see what might work best.
What might work for you. Right.
Okay. So before we wrap up.
Don't be afraid. Try new things.
Circle back to something.
And see
what works for you.
Seeking professional help. I know it can feel
daunting. I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
It can make
your professional help.
A world of difference.
I know.
Yeah.
It can feel daunting. It can feel like you're admitting defeat.
It can make a world of difference.
Or something.
You're right.
But it's not.
Seeking professional help.
It's not.
Is a sign of strength.
A sign of weakness.
Not weakness.
Right.
It takes courage.
It's a sign of strength.
To acknowledge you need support.
To recognize that you need help for it. And to ask for it.
Exactly. There are so many resources available.
There are so many
resources
to help us.
Support groups. There's a whole network of people out there.
Therapists, counselors, psychiatrists. To try different approaches until you find what works best for you.
It's not.
There's no one size fits all.
One size fits all.
Solution when it comes to mental health.
Yeah.
You have
everybody's different.
Find what works.
And everybody needs
different things.
Exactly. And remember
struggling
with brain fog.
If you're struggling with brain fog.
You are not alone.
Yeah.
Millions of people experience this.
And there's no shame.
And there's no shame in seeking help. It's okay.
To not be okay.
Okay.
And it's okay.
Now, before we sign off.
To ask for help.
Any final words of wisdom.
Get the support you need.
For our listeners.
You deserve it.
Okay.
Managing brain fog.
Give us the final takeaway.
Is a journey.
Okay.
Not a destination.
Brain fog is a journey.
There will be ups and downs.
Not a destination.
Good days and bad days.
Okay.
But the key is
there will be
to keep learning.
ups and downs.
Let me tell you.
Keep experimenting.
Good days and bad days.
Yeah.
But we have to.
Keep seeking support.
Keep learning.
You've got this.
Keep experimenting.
I believe in.
And keep seeking support. Okay, I like that.
We all believe in you.
Keep learning.
You can do this.
Keep experimenting. And keep seeking support.
Absolutely.
You got this.
We got this.
I love that.
We got this.
We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us today.
And remember,
on the CareClinic Podcast,
stay sharp.
We hope you found
stay healthy.
This episode informative and empowering.
Keep those brains fog-free.
Until next time, stay sharp, stay healthy, and keep those brains fog-free.